Wow. Ooh.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Irene.
Hey, Irene.
She's the first one
I
on.
do,
Anything else on, please let us know.
I do apologise, everyone. I've just put eye drops in before we went live, so everything looks kind of blurry. So I'm having a great laugh here trying to
I will.
sharing that. Hey, Mr. Seeding, how you doing? Hey, Irene.
Well,
Um,
Irene. Well, tonight we're talking about poltergeist. Hey, Sarah.
hey, Sarah Louise. Hey, babe.
Um,
Um,
well, as far as I know about poltergeist, it's that it's a German word for noisy ghost. And uh-oh. That,
I'm scared I lost my voice. Oh, Irene. Huge
um,
hugs, Irene.
everybody. Good
Good
film.
film.
It's a good
It's
film
not even about
too.
the film.
It's a good film too, but I don't know much about them except for that a lot of people seem to have them, and the the way I see it, they come from adolescent females just hitting puberty. It's a manifestation of emotions that they created. But is it really? I mean, I haven't seen, but I've heard of poltergeist being in the church. I've heard, you
Yeah.
know, is that there is no people too. So,
Uh,
Nicole,
you- on you go, love. Hey, Nicola. Hey, honey.
well, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Poltergeist,
That's a good
I
film.
think it's not a film that we're talking about.
Well, I was just saying it's a good film.
That's my sister.
Yeah,
But now she's put me off my train of thought.
Oh, very sorry,
Eh, Pol- Poltergeist. What I was going to say is poltergeist, right? I think sometimes that's maybe spirits by you communicating
mm,
and letting you know that obviously they're there, but it also can warn you it may be dangers.
mm,
I've, I mean, you look at some of the scenarios with poltergeist. I mean, I would love to be able to find,
mm.
pick up pots, pans, drawers, and fling them halfway across the room, type of thing. I think as well, when you look at many of the places, some people create this because they think they see something.
Yeah,
Exactly, Eileen. Um, and I mean, some people think the poltergeist comes and they're malicious. I mean, they can be malicious.
oh,
Oh,
hey,
there's
Dad.
that big handsome devil.
Hey, how's everybody?
Yay! Not too bad. Still got sore eyes, so
Good, good,
I'm
good.
trying to sing.
Sorry, I'm late, everybody.
It's okay.
Oh, you're always bloody late.
I'm always
You're
late,
worse
always
than
late.
Nick.
That's because we're
Do
busy
you think?
people.
Yeah, but do you think poltergeists are like we were talking about how people created Slender Man by thinking about it and believing in it, or a lot of these other cryptids like the rake, that people think that they've manifested by believing in all these people believing in the same thing. Is it created like that? Is it created from adolescent, you know, girls going into puberty? I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people have subscribed to the idea that they could be possible thought forms that are manifested into reality.
Mm.
Hi, Irene. I know there are quite a few schools of thought out there regarding what they could possibly be. The answer is I don't know. The answer is I don't think anybody does know. I mean, I've done investigations when there have been children that have sort of hit, generally it seems to be girls, when they hit sort of puberty, then a lot of, there's that excess energy, isn't there? There's that build up. Is that their frustration's been expelled? I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've worked on a case as well where this guy and his partner, they had a cottage. The cottage was really old, and it was genuinely haunted. There was definitely spirit activity there, but there used to always be stuff that centered around him and around her, particularly the husband and wife. And it turned out that their relationship wasn't the greatest. They used to argue, and they were in the kitchen one day. They were having a massive argument, and when they were having the argument, they heard a smash coming from one of the cabinets. And when they looked into the cabinet where the noise had come from, there was a stack of plates. There was, I don't know, 10, 15 plates. The two at the top and the two at the bottom were fine. All the ones in the middle were smashed. They were shattered. And there was no, it was right at the peak of their frustration and their anger that happened. So whether it's them expelling that energy, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know.
Well, you got to think about it in one way too. That all the energy that you create by your anger or excitement or anything is can be manifested into a real subject or a real entity, because you're putting out all that energy with that emotion, and it ends up creating stuff.
Well, you've got the famous case, haven't you? Or infamous case, the famous case, really. The one that I guess most people know about, which was I think it was was it Canadian or American? I think it was Canadian, actually, where these parapsychologists, they got a property and they put a thought that the property had no prior history attached to it regarding hauntings or spiritual activity. But what they wanted to do an experiment, so they wanted to create a thought form. So the thought form, they came up with this idea, and it had a whole backstory. It was called Philip, and they created in essentially this character. And then they walked away from it, and then subsequently, people that went there and stayed there came across this spirit that had manifested itself in this building that had called itself Philip and had utilised the whole backstory that they give. Now, whether that was a spirit that they created and brought into manifestation through thought form, or whether it was a spirit that came along and thought, I'll take the piss here, I'll jump on this and wind people up. I don't know. It's interesting though.
But the term poltergeist poltergeist is German for noisy ghost.
Noisy ghost, yeah.
And as one of Wayne's comments was saying, obviously we poltergeist, poltergeists can get upset. Well, frustrated spirit. I totally get, and it's not just that. If you have a building, right, and
exactly, Nicola.
People do work in the building, right? Spirits might not see it as you're doing good for the building. They see it as you're coming in and you're interfering. And I could pretty much think that if I was spirit and somebody came into my house and started changing things and started building, and maybe that spirit's way of letting out as Wayne says, their frustration at at things like people coming in, or even people coming in and investigating. If you see, take 30 East Drive, I'm going to use that as prime example, right? Because it's the first thing that came to my head, right? So how many people cross the door of 30 East Drive? And if they're coming in with the same equipment, the same questions, the same, sort of idea, they would get pissed off and they'd be like, you know what, screw this. So I can understand why spirits act out and then it becomes poltergeist.
Well, not only that, they probably don't know how to get your attention, or they don't think that they're, if I pick up a can and say, hey, you're not looking at me, you're not paying attention to me, fine, I'll throw it at you or something like that, so you pay attention to me.
Well, you think if you're speaking from another realm, from a different dimension, and you can't you're going to get frustrated, aren't you? So you're going to manifest your energy to probably move stuff through anger. It's like when you get angry anyway, in this form, in like this side of life, you get so angry, people pick things up and smash things, don't they? Out of frustration. There's no reason saying that couldn't be spirit.
I thought
there is a lot of misunderstanding. And I'll be honest with you, we don't know what poltergeists are. The same way as we don't know what spirits are, do we? We think we do. I think we think we've got a handle on what they are, what they possibly could be. But the truth is, we don't really know. You know?
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, if you go back on what I know about quantum physics, okay, energy can be transferred into matter, even though it sounds like a futuristic or a Star Trek-y type thing. Eventually, it will happen because they've already tried to do that. So, if I am a spirit or an entity from another side, you know, already changing matter into or something that's energy into matter, I'm already picking this up and throwing it. That's the only way they can do that, you know.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I wouldn't know, to be honest. There's a lot of people out there that are in a much better position to tell you what a lot more than I can.
Hey, Steve.
I can tell you.
In fact, funny you should say that, Steve. It was actually you came into my head there. Steve does stuff in the Paradox Club every night, and one of the things that he does is he does his own house, and it's really interesting. So it's funny that Steve's came in the chat. I must have been manifesting that because I've been thinking about Steve and he's popped up. What about the Enfield poltergeist? Come on, Dan, that's your speciality, the Enfield poltergeist. What's your thoughts?
I think that was a spirit. I don't think that was what they term a poltergeist. I don't think it was. I think that was purely an angry spirit because they got in contact with, as far as I know. Well, I know what they did get in contact with, but as far as my expertise on it goes, they got in contact with, not that there's much expertise on it, they got in contact with the spirit that haunted that property. I think the chap was called Bill. He's actually buried up near my parents in the cemetery just up the road from where we lived. And he said that he died in the corner of the room. He explained how he died. And then they even played the sound of Bill to his son. And his son didn't want anything to do with him because I think they sort of had a fractured relationship. And when they played it to his son, they wanted to get his son to go back to the house. His son went, "That's definitely my father talking." He went, "But I'm going nowhere near him." So there must be. I don't know if he was particularly a nice man, what the relationship between the son, or what the fracture was between the son and the father. But the son didn't want to go back there. So he obviously had a bad relationship. And it broke down, but the spirit itself. I mean, yeah, there were shenanigans going on in that property at points. But you got to remember, a lot of these were young girls. They were getting an awful lot of sort of coverage, and they were getting a lot of exposure because of the haunting itself. There were things that were untoward carried out there, but there was also stuff that went on there which was actually bona fide. For example, a friend of mine was a police officer over in Enfield, which is Met Police, and the woman that he worked with initially, she was an acting police officer who was coming to the end of her career, and she was talking to him, and he said, "Come on, look, tell me what went on with this poltergeist house up in Green Street." And she said, "Well, we got a call." She said, "And when we went in there, furniture was moving about." And she said this ball, just a normal kid's ball, went up in the air and started spinning around the room. And they saw it, her and the male officer saw it. And she went, "We got out of there because what can we deal with? They can't deal with that. They can't deal with that." So there's definitely stuff going on there.
Yeah. You're talking about the Enfield haunting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read more on that and more detailed information that I found about the police officers actually going in and neighbors actually going in and seeing this stuff happen, like the Legos flying around and balls flying around, stuff like that. It's really weird.
Yeah, there was even we call them lollipop ladies. I don't know what you call them in America, but they're the guys with the ladies and the men with the go with the lollipop. Like you hold it, it looks like a lollipop. It's a sign that says "Stop Children," and they go in the middle of the road and they slow down the traffic at schools.
Yeah.
And she was there, and she looked up and she saw one of the girls. There was no curtains at the window or any netting, and she said that she saw one of the girls actually levitating.
Wow.
Just levitating in and she like mouth agape, didn't know what to do, and that was one of the stories that she related. So there was an awful lot of stuff going on there, And of course, that was where I was born in Enfield and brought up in Enfield, only not far, like just up the road from where it happened. So I remember growing up, the whole spiel about it and everything, you know, the enormity of what was going on as it was going on at the time. But yeah, it was a very interesting case.
Do you know, I can imagine kids nowadays doing the whole, you know, when it comes to Halloween and doing the whole spooky stories, like, can you remember that house over there? That's
yeah.
Poltergeist, then don't go in there. Oh, I dare you to go in there, but on you go. Sort of thing, like, on you go. Just that thing. But
go on, mate.
I just want to say, can you bring up William's comment just now?
What's he going to do? Usually do?
No, that one. It was the one before. He said something.
Studies, cosmic vibrations. I'm not wired with respect to any of these ghosty people. Don't. No, they don't. They don't. A lot of them don't, William.
They don't.
They don't. They don't. They see things in. It's blinkered. It's very black and white.
Yeah, and no man, you know, people are quite when it comes. That one. When people hear anything to do, not so much myself, I would run into it like a burning building. But when it comes to occult and Satanism and things like that, which could be connected to whatever. Like, if somebody was investigating Aleister Crowley, for example, there's a lot of people who turn their back on, you know, touching that situation. But you just think to yourself, it comes part and parcel with paranormal, whether you like it or not.
Go into it. Yeah, you have to. Whether it frightens you or whatever, you've got to step over that boundary, haven't you? Because if you don't, what are you going to do? You're going to just, there's no point in doing it. If you're going to be frightened at every turn, and you're going to restrict yourself from going down, looking at that knowledge, then you should be doing it. And it's like, William says, William's right. There's a lot of people, they take it as black and white, that this is what it is now. I mean, it's so much going on in this world that we couldn't even begin to tell, like, you know, we couldn't even fathom so much going on.
Without a doubt.
Where's Viv tonight?
Oh,
she's not well.
Oh, she's still not well?
No, she's not doing good. And Jamie had something happen at work. I'll tell you off air.
So you're stuck with me tonight. I'm young Vivian.
Exactly, William. Yeah, it's exactly it. You've got to keep thinking. It's exactly it, isn't it? Exactly.
Well, and then so many people are afraid to experiment and do things that they think, like, okay, if I do this without saying all this other stuff, I'm going to get an attachment. Well, yeah, that might be true, but how are you going to learn anything if you don't take risks?
I agree with her.
And I think that's what happens, isn't it? People restrict themselves from doing these things, and they cut out a lot of richness in their lives because they're frightened of finding the answer. But the answer is what you're looking for. We'll never get the answers, really, but it's bloody fun looking, isn't it? It's fun looking and getting a peek behind the veil and seeing what possibly could be in it.
All right, Eric's mum must be there. So yeah, I mean, as Eric was saying, you know, a lot of people don't want to live that part of life, but I think, see, if you want to do paranormal, you've got to be really open-minded. You can't come in and have one expectation, you're going to investigate here, but I'm not going to look there, sort of thing. When you look at paranormal, it comes in a whole, whether you like it or whether you don't, you know.
Can you do me a favor and take over for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. We're all right. You're all right. You go, mate. You've got to do what you got to do.
I'm glad I've got company and I'm not all by myself. I was dreading it because he was like, yeah, I need to go and do something just now. And I'm thinking, shit, that means I'm going to have to sit and talk shit for like God knows how long.
Well, I'm always worried about people leaving me behind, so I've learned a little tap dance routine just to keep it. When I get back. No, Jamie.
No, Jamie. So it's just you and me.
Eric was saying, wasn't he? Somebody, yeah.
So me and you can have a romantic date while
nobody else is here. I'll spit it. Let's start a date. Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve. But yeah, it is. It's one of the ones, and I think you've really got to be open-minded. I mean, you've just got to be. If you tell people that you're a paranormal investigator, surely to God you're open-minded.
Well, you know what it's like. You get people that. Oh, don't get me wrong. We all get. I'm not saying people don't get frightened or nervous. I get nervous and frightened at times, but you have to push through it because if you don't, you're not gonna achieve anything. It's no good being like a firefighter and then running away from a fire, is it? You know. Not that I'm equating myself to a firefighter, but you know what I mean. It's the same sort of principle.
No,
But,
it's like one of the firefighters. I want the women to love me, but wait and wait, I'm not going into that building.
I want the uniform. I
fight
do
the
not want to go from fires. But yeah, it's odd, isn't it? But I mean, poltergeists, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have any idea what they are, you know. But like I say, I haven't really got any idea what a ghost is or what a spirit is, or apart from what we possibly think they could be. But we could be duped. We don't know. There could be a great big, you know, joke on behalf of the universe. They could be winding us up. We just don't know. But it's interesting to look.
This is definitely it. And I mean, when you look at obviously the Enfield poltergeist, you know, there's been a lot of criticism about obviously the Enfield poltergeist. One coming from Joe Nickel, the USA based. He's a gentleman that works at the CSICOP, which is Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal. Now, if that's how you say it, folks, usually I can't get my words out, but I must be doing well for myself tonight. And he criticised some of it. He was saying that, you know, the supposedly disembodied demonic voice, which was heard by Janet. Why was it always Janet that heard the voice? Why was there nobody else that heard the voice?
Who knows? I mean, you're right. You're right to question things. People are right to question things. I don't think anything should be taken on face value.
No.
You should always criticise things. And the thing is, if you don't like being criticised, then get out the kitchen if you don't like that. Because I'm quite happy to be open to criticism. If I put a video out there and I know full well that it's 100% bona fide and it's got some sort of activity on it, whatever, and I know for a fact that that's reality, that doesn't stop me. I can't then stop people from criticising it and trying to find, because they don't know me. They don't know the what I'm putting out there. You know, it's just you got to find your own way. I think. You know. I
mean, that's one of the things that obviously I learned when I done counselling, and you know what I learned and which I walked away with knowing is that, you know, if you're going to give criticism, you take criticism back and you take it on the chin.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. It's how we learn, isn't it? It's how we learn, Lois, isn't it? It's you know,
aye, definitely. Without a shadow.
Unless it's clearly something stupid that people have just been doing it because they've just been arseholes.
Aye. Well,
wrong with good criticism.
Yeah, that one that's always panicky, like everything's a problem.
Yeah, and there's enough of them out there, aren't there, to be honest?
Oh, God. Hell yeah. But poltergeist, there's a bit of me that's a wee bit sceptic, but I think it's because I've never ever experienced it.
Which don't you? Because Scotland's got its fair old number of poltergeist stories and legends.
Well, we do when you look at it in essence, but when obviously, like myself, I've never ever experienced it. But as you say, there is quite a few poltergeists in Scotland as well. Sorry, it's that weather as well that you can hear in the background. Oh my God, Dan!
What you got?
The range trampoline get destroyed.
Oh really? We had a bit of a fence thrown down here. William's
in fact,
oh God.
Who's watching it?
Film,
oh, William. What's it like?
Back, Nicola. Nicola's back.
Hey, Nicola. But no, there is one that sticks out for me in Scotland, and it's known as the Salsay poltergeist, and that's the most famous one in Scotland. And it began in November in 1960, and it centred around 11-year-old Virginia Campbell, who experienced some bizarre paranormal happenings. But yeah, that's another one.
You've also got the Mackenzie poltergeist, haven't you? Which is in Greyfriars, I think, is the one that.
Yeah,
they
in
wrote a book on
Edinburgh.
it, didn't they? I read the book, The Ghost That Haunts Itself.
Yeah,
And that's the tomb, isn't it? With lots of active people have heart attacks and all sorts of things. I think a few people have passed away in that tomb over the years.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ones, like obviously, as you say, that one. And there is, when you read a lot of people's stories about getting scratched, people came away with get scratched. There's people with marks that they can't describe, bruises that they can't describe.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think there's been about maybe 2 or 3 deaths attributed to that place as well, that tomb. Because I think they used to do the guided tours of the cemetery, which is an amazing cemetery. If you've ever been to Scotland, go and have a look at that Edinburgh cemetery. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing. But
I read recently you can't get in yet, for some reason. But yeah, Greyfriars is definitely at the top of the list there. Everybody's must do.
Greyfriars is amazing. But Greyfriars is an amazing. I think there's lots of spirits attached to it, isn't there? There's lots of legends and stories attached to Greyfriars. But it's phenomenal place.
So I mean, you've got the Nicopolis in Glasgow. Hey Laura, how you doing? You've got obviously you can't be spilled the old CGI. But you've got the Nicopolis in Glasgow. I mean, that's also haunted as well.
Yeah, and that's an amazing place as well, isn't it?
It is a really nice place.
That's an amazing place.
Because it's got Pit the Phantom.
And that's an old one as well, isn't it? And the necropolis is really old. Oh
yeah, very, very beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
It's phenomenal looking. It's amazing looking place.
Because I have seen pictures of it and I've been. Finally managed to get there. But yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
It looks really cool. It does look cool.
I must admit, I'm quite a sucker for a graveyard, if I'm really honest. Many people go, no, you don't do that sort of thing. I remember watching just.
I remember that as well, and everybody goes, hey, I remember that.
Well, William, I'm more of snakes in a plane. I've seen snakes in a plane now. I don't want to really go there. I'd love to go there. You should, Nicola. You should. There is quite a few good places, really beautiful places in Scotland that I've had.
Stunning places.
Yeah, that I've had the luck of going to with my first team. And I think the one that always stands out for me, apart from Lennox Castle, is a place in Perth called the Four Seasons Hotel, and it's beautiful. It's just like a B&B, but it's like got a waterfront, and oh my lord, the view is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Did you investigate that?
I investigated it. Yeah, it was. I did actually got head. There was a headmaster, and he was quite a bastard. Please excuse my French. And hey Nettie, and that's where really I'd interacted with 2 kid spirits. Hiya Kelly.
Hi Kelly.
Hope you're well, honey. But yeah, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was really, really good. But I just loved it as well for the view. The view was just wowie.
I've done bits in Scotland. I've not done too much. I've only really done Edinburgh, really. I've not done anywhere else, to be honest. And there's so much in Scotland. There's such a rich history of paranormal activity and hauntings that it's a good place to go to.
Do you know what? There's a lot of places that I'm seeing right now in TikTok that's flagging up in Scotland, and I think to myself, I've not actually seen much in my own country. And there's places up. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can always remember my grandpa taking me to Oban, and Oban's absolutely
That's
beautiful as
lovely
well.
there. Stunning.
Absolutely loved it there. But there is so much to see in Scotland. The only problem that, and this is no offence to anybody that loves castles, but once you see one castle, you see so many, Dan, and it's just like, I just want a change. I want
Yeah,
to explore the mental
Yeah.
hospitals, the churches, places like that, and even graveyards. And as I say, not many people agree with the whole going exploring in a graveyard, but see, as long as you're being really respectful and you ain't being rude or anything like that, I don't see the issue.
If ever I do a cemetery or I'm with people when we film it, we don't put any new, when we say new, anything in the last 40, 50 years, we won't put on camera. We won't, like graves and stuff. Because obviously there's still family members around today and what have you. You got to be a bit sensitive. The older Victorian stuff and pre that, we're quite happy to video around that. Even then, we don't really show names and stuff. Not that it really matters.
No.
But it's all done respectfully. And I think that people that say that they don't investigate cemeteries miss a trick. Because I'll tell you what, I've been in a few of them, and there's 9 times out of 10 there's been some form of, be it not a lot, but there's been something that's happened there that is kind of leaves you scratching your head.
Mm-hmm. But definitely, I'm up for exploring England. I'm more wanting to come down to England to explore paranormal than I'm Scotland, because I think I love England, and I just want to come down and move down. I'm just at that point now where I want to explore more about down there, and see, because like all you guys are down there, like Wayne, Mark, you, Viv, Jamie, and all of that. I would love to go with you guys with it.
You're only young, so you know you're in the right position. Really, if you want to do it, do it.
Oh, aye. Don't get me wrong.
Eric coming over from the States at some point, isn't he?
Oh God, aye. Because I keep saying to him, why the hell do you want to come to Scotland? Hi, Sarah. Don't forget Wales.
Stunning. Wales is beautiful.
How can I forget about Wales? How can I forget about you, Sarah Louise? You would batter me if I didn't come team up with that Phoenix. Yes, Kelly, I would love that, definitely.
Where are you, Kelly? Whereabouts are we? Do you know where they are? Low.
Kelly's going to shoot my boots, but I keep forgetting. Sorry, Kelly. But yeah, I mean, there's so many places that I've seen down, like in England, that I think Shropshire.
Oh, you're not that far from us. Shropshire's like, we go, Oh, we'll have to do a collab then one day, Kelly. A lab going.
But one of the guys I'm speaking to, that I speak to on and off, he's saying about wanting to go to 30 East Drive, and he's like, if there was one place I would love to investigate, you do the first investigation with, he says, is 30 East Drive, and I'm like, quite fancy it. He says, because a lot of people's done it. It's done 30 East Drive, even like English has done 30 East Drive.
I think I've done it 7 times. 7 times I've done it. Nothing.
Nothing. You're just like, I spent 7 times in there for hee-haw.
I'll tell you what, one of the last time I did it, a few years ago, I went there with a friend of mine, Gary, and there was 3 of us. Who was the third one? Adam and Gary. And we went there and we were just doing I was doing an overnight. And we set the cameras up, we went around and did our stuff, and we sat down, and it was so quiet, we just fell asleep. And then when I woke up in the morning, and I thought, it's a bit bright in here. Well, the sunlight was coming through the bloody wind, through the curtain. So what it was, we fell asleep all night, because nothing might have happened while we were asleep, but we didn't see or hear anything. But couple of times I've been there, but one time I went there, I set up it was like a trigger, well, it was a hidden trigger object. So it was a marble, and I hid it, no, not a marble, so it was a ball, like a rubber ball. And I hid it underneath it was hidden underneath a telephone seat, tucked out the way, so nobody could see it.
Yeah.
And we went ahead, did the night's investigation, then I went back to pick the trigger object up, and it was gone. And I said to people, knowing full well that, well, you know, they couldn't have moved it because they didn't, that was there and couldn't see it. Has anybody seen this trigger object, this ball? And not one person had seen it. So I don't know whether that or a bloody rat could have got in and taken it. I don't know. It could be anything, you know. You never know. But it's worth it. It's like Nettie says, she's never done it.
It's true, it's up to again, yeah. I know, it's just internet, it's just for something to say, yeah, we've done.
Yeah. Do you know what? Because I've always said, because I've been there several times and I've had nothing, doesn't mean that somebody couldn't go there once and get a load of stuff. It's just it's luck of the draw. It's a luck of the draw. It's like, you know, there could be a lot of different contributing ideas or contributing factors to why they won't get involved. They might not like you. They might be happy to integrate with other people or chat with other people. Lots of stuff. So Robert says your Viv's double.
Oh, thank you very much. I could be a long lost daughter. I've done it very.
Same here, Nicola. Yeah, very quiet. Yeah.
But if you think about it, guys, see,
nice little house.
Because there's so many people and so many teams going in and out all the time, spirits could just be wanting a break, wanting a holiday, like we're off on vacation.
I've often said it before it happened, and it worked out the way I thought it would. Not that I'm any kind of, you know, prophet, but I said to people that the good time to get into a property would be directly after what was lockdown, because those properties have been vacant for so long that the spirits might be glad of the activity coming back, people coming in, and it turns out there was quite an upturn in activity when people went back in after lockdown. Whether it was because of that, whether that was a factor, I don't know, but it was interesting. But I think, yeah, you're right. These places get so done that it's like a battery. They just kind of wear it down, and then you get nothing in the end, you know.
But definitely,
Hi, Catherine. Welcome, Catherine. Lovely to have you here. So,
but America's another one in my list that I would really, really love to explore. You can imagine the spirits thinking.
Oh yeah, there's lots of interesting places in the States.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd like to do America. And of course I'd love to do Japan as well. I think Japan has got so many folk tales and you know, so many spiritual stories and what have you, that it'd be interesting to do Japan. I think it'd be really interesting. And to learn about their belief systems and how they approach it, and it'd be amazing.
Oh God, yeah, without a shadow of doubt. Every night it's booked, me and my friend got the place back.
Yeah, they're making a lot of money out of it, aren't they? Really? Do you know what? When I went in there, the thing that I thought of is it was a nice little house. It was a cozy, nice little house. Didn't get any feeling from it at all. You know, didn't feel particularly ominous.
Book a week there. I think I'll book a week there. But like, can I rent your fist for a week?
Oh, I'll tell you what. If you had the money, right? If you had the money, and you bought yourself a couple of these haunted properties, so you had the money, you went to Enfield. I don't know if the council own it again. They're still or not. If you could buy that, and then you could buy the one at East Lodge, money you'd earn.
Oh,
you'd be booked out every bloody night, wouldn't they?
Never need to work again.
Money you could earn out of it.
Oh God, yeah. I've always said, you know, if I ever did win the lottery, one of the things I would do is put in and invest in Waverley House Sanatorium.
That'd be amazing.
I'd put an invest in there, just knowing that I could get in there and investigate anytime. Like I have that, and I would be happy with that. But there's a lot of places though that you kind of say to yourself, I would actually invest in you just because then I would have that, and then I could sneak all my friends in and be like,
that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That'd be amazing.
Oh
I
God,
tell you
I.
what, I'd like to do. I would like to, and I've always wanted to do it. Is I would like to do Tombstone in America, because they got the birdcage there, which was an old sort of I don't know what you got, like a dancing girls and a saloon and all sorts of stuff. And there's so many murders there over the years, like because it's the old West. So
Yeah.
What?
Hello, mate.
Oh,
Talking
hello.
about dancing girls now?
We were talking about Tombstone,
Oh, okay.
the old Western stuff. Now I'd love to investigate because I'm a cowboy at heart. All kids are, aren't they?
You are, huh?
He's a cowboy and he wants to see the showgirls.
There you go. Yeah, like a proper cowboy.
Not me. I was a stormtrooper as a child, so.
There's a map that points out all the
Yeah,
myths.
I've seen that. That's a very good map. Yeah, they do a few different ones, don't they? Yeah, that looks good down there.
Definitely with that now.
So yeah, I mean, I'd like to do that. Anywhere you'd like to visit, Eric?
Oh, well, I'm going to go. Well, most of the places are in Scotland and England that I want to visit, but if I were to
You'll be
go
over here
anywhere
soon.
here, it would be the insane asylum, the famous one.
Family, Waverley Sanatorium.
Yeah, Waverly Hills.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Waverly Hills.
In
That'd
fact,
be
I plan on
amazing.
doing that before I come over there. So,
Is it still open to the public?
yep.
I know there was a little bit of to and fro in there, wasn't there, because of regarding licensing and.
Well, they were going to close down because they were running out of money. And then they got a big donation, so they opened back up. Now they do all kind of weird stuff. Like they do investigations yet, but it's more like a haunted house type of thing now.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes, Catherine. I'd love to do. I'd love to go to Tombstone. Love to go to that place.
Yeah, I heard.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to go to Tombstone. Another place that intrigues me is Gettysburg.
Gettysburg.
Love to do Gettysburg. The battlefield there is phenomenal.
One of my favorite videos from Gettysburg is somebody was filming the cannons that were sitting out in the open, and there was a soldier that walked through that area.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. They done there was a guy they were interviewing him. I think he was there with his family, and he was saying it was a lot because this happens during the day as well in broad daylight, doesn't it? He said, and they were just talking and videoing, and you see these soldiers walk across.
Yep.
And then later on, he says, "Oh, they got like reenactment there." And she went, "There's no reenactments today."
No.
And he went, "There's guys over there dressed like soldiers."
Too.
Yeah. And have you seen the footage as well? Like the I guess it's like bushes, and you see the soldiers walking around the bushes, and there's a guy videoing it. That's phenomenal piece of footage. But yeah, I'd Gettysburg, places like that would be amazing. Gettysburg and Tombstone, fantastic.
In fact, just the other day, someone was talking about ghost towns, and there's a lot of empty towns way out south that are just no one's seen them anymore, and they're still standing.
Yeah, there's ghost towns tucked out in the middle of nowhere, aren't there? That are still like fully, could almost dust them off and fully functioning again.
Yep.
That'd be cool to investigate some of them.
I mean, there's a lot of there is a lot of places in America that I just think to myself, oh wow, I really would love to see, and it's not just for the paranormal hunting, but
yeah, I bet. Yeah, I can understand.
But it's not just for the paranormal point of view. It's like the one that I really would love to go out, and it's not even because of the ufology, but I would love to go to the Nevada desert. And that being said, because there's so many missing people out there, that you just think to yourself, like for a crime point of view, there's so many like bodies that are out in the Nevada desert. You just think to yourself, oh my God. And it's always said that if the easiest desert to hide somebody in is the Nevada desert. I didn't actually realise how big it was until I done the Kenny Beach case. And that one in itself is a conundrum.
Yeah.
It's odd, isn't it? And you look at like the mountains and the vast expanse of American wilderness, and
Yeah.
they say people go missing there. Then they find they search and search and search, can't find someone, and then 20 years later, a hiker will come across remains.
Mm-hmm.
It's so vast.
It is.
That many days.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Cool to see some of them. That'd be amazing.
Georgia, yes, we've got Savannah a few
Wow.
hours. Oh, wow. It's not
That
even
is
just
cool.
that. I like to go to needle hunting as well.
Thinking about that.
Like,
Oh, sorry,
Ah.
go ahead. Well, I was going to talk about Georgia. I've been there, and it's a really nice place, especially. Wow, I don't like being there during the summertime, but during the wintertime, it's beautiful.
Was it too hot in the summer?
Yeah, it's like 120 degrees in the summer.
Whoa!
Yeah,
How do people survive in that?
well, they apparently love it. I don't, but that's
No,
because
I
I'm
couldn't.
from Wisconsin. But
Yeah, we're from a colder climate as well. We wouldn't do well in
Mhm.
that. 100 bloody hell! But people, it's like what do you call it? Isn't it? They were saying that we
They
don't.
don't. He says we don't. Yeah,
That must be horrific. That sort of weather.
yeah, it's really, really hot during the summertime. I was in that area for 1 year, and man, I tell you what, there's some amazing stuff around there. But when it gets hot out, you don't want to go out.
Boiling. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that. Wow. They were saying that somebody went. Is it in Arizona? Was Death Valley in America?
Yeah,
Is it Arizona?
Arizona. Yep, you're
They were
right.
saying that somebody went out there for a run, and they got caught out there somehow, and they found them about a week later, and when they found them, they said that the body was so dried out you could pick it up with like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
All the humidity, they dried the whole body out. Unbelievable. Georgia is hot and humid in the summer, like all the stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't live like that. You're continually sweating. You must be terrible.
I mean, me going to the
120%
UK.
humidity.
Yep, 120%. Me going to the UK is like summer here in Wisconsin. Right
Oh,
now,
really?
yeah, right at your time of the year, it's like summer here in Wisconsin.
Wow. Is it still snowing there?
It did a few days ago. It's actually warming up. It's in the 30s right now. So,
Well, that's a big difference then, isn't it, from what it was?
yep. Yeah, because a few days ago it was 25 below zero. So,
I wonder actually if that sort of heat, those sort of conditions have any effect on activity.
well, it's
That'd
got
be
to at some
interesting,
point.
wouldn't it? I know
I
that
mean-
when there's storms and there's sort of electrical activity and what have you, that it kind of ups the ante as far as activity is concerned, or said to.
It can. I mean, thank God we don't get a lot of rain
hell.
around here, but
100 degrees Fahrenheit is a cold day in the summer.
yep.
John Jones, you talk about Death Valley.
I've just realised I've been muted and I've been sat talking.
Have you been talking?
I've been talking and I didn't realise I was muted. I do apologise for that. But,
Wow.
oh, wow.
Wow.
Put it this way: we did our trip. We started in winter, beginning of winter here. It was 25 below here, and when we got into Arizona, or not Arizona, but into Georgia and South Carolina, my jacket was off, the windows were open.
People must be continually sweating down there, mustn't
Yeah,
they?
pretty much.
So they got to be drinking like water all the time.
What's the weather for back here? It was 35 below zero, and I was sitting outside in 85-degree weather in a t-shirt and shorts.
Oh my God! Do you know what? As much as I love America, I couldn't put up with the heat and it's not because I'm ginger. Before anybody cracks that joke, it's just the fact that I don't like too much warmth. I'm alright.
Really? That's horrible.
Polish man.
Never dry.
Wow, that's horrible. Wow.
Yeah, you can. I've seen it. I've seen somebody do
Bloody
that.
hell. Wow.
I thought they were joking when they said that, but I saw that. Somebody actually cracked an egg, set it on the concrete, and it actually cooks right there.
Wow. God, that's unbelievable heat and humidity.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to breathe that. Can't be good for your chest, can it?
I don't think so.
Your breathing and stuff. It can't be. I suppose you've got to be born there, haven't you, to sort of get used to it, if you do get used to it. Yeah, but it's still hot though, William. But it was still hot though.
Now this was 20 years back for me, so yeah, it was pretty hot.
I bet you can't walk. I bet you can't walk out there without shoes on. I bet the ground would burn your feet.
Oh yeah, you can't. Not on the concrete, at least.
It's always amazed me how people settle in these places and live there. It's like, what made you choose that? Of all the
I don't
places,
know.
I don't doubt it's beautiful at all. I'm sure it's stunning, but the heat, I just couldn't.
Well, that was the heat
Oh.
wasn't the bad thing. The bad thing that scared me was, well, one, the most dangerous spider I think is the brown recluse, and two, there's black widows almost everywhere. Let's see, and there's scorpions. You have to check your shoes for those.
Blimey, William, that's unbelievable.
But yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, we think we get hot weather over here, but my God, in America, I can just only imagine.
We're like little bitches over here, and we get a little bit of hot weather, and we're not used to it at all.
We're
not prepared for snow
when it's
or hot
autumn.
weather. We're all right with rain's concerned. Anything else, and we're caught out.
I agree with that one. Oh.
It's a wonder that as Brits, we're not born with umbrellas on our heads and Wellington boots on our feet.
I'm half expecting the umbrella hats.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. It's true though. Over here, when you get a little bit of heat, they've all got their shirts off, and you think to yourself, then you compare it to the heat that like William and Catherine and that are talking about, and Eric.
Oh no!
Just Eastern Dime walk moccasins, copperheads. I think other blimey.
Oh my God!
A lot of poisonous snakes and poisonous spiders. Like I said, scorpions, alligators.
It's like Australia. It's like everything's designed to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. People have gotten second-degree burns from walking.
Wow!
Oh my God! Oh. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got to admit, people in Scotland moan when it's sunny and then it's dead warm, and then they moan when it's absolutely freezing. And it's like, get rid of yourself.
It's all over, isn't it? Yeah, Australia.
It's got to be.
Is that not where Snake Island is in Australia? There's an island.
His mum married an Australian guy, and she relocated with her husband to Australia. And my mate Dave, he got on well with his stepdad. He was a really nice guy, stepdad. And he got on well with me. Stepdad said, "Look, you come out here, Dave. We'll sort you out. We'll give you a job in my company. We'll get you somewhere to live. We'll sort it all out." Dave went over there, and within 2 weeks, Dave was back in England. And he phoned me up, and I went, "Oh, it can cost you some money from Australia." No, he went, "I'm over." He was up in
South America.
South America.
Over in Australia. Just up the road from where I lived. And I went, "What are you doing back?" He went, "I'll tell you, Dan. I went out there." He said, and I went in to have a shower. He said, "So turn the shower on because it's warm over there." He said, "No, washing my face." And as I've looked up, he went, "The shower was that like the roof was far above his head." And as I've looked up, he went, "There was a tarantula the size of your fist." He said, "Just hanging there." He said, "That put me off." But what finally done it is I went into the garage, lifted some carpet, and there was a spider there. And he said it was so aggressive. He stood up on its back legs, and it was kind of like making a noise, and it was going to attack him. He went after that. I decided I couldn't live there anymore. Booked a flight, came home within a few days. He just couldn't do it. Couldn't live there.
It's the same as like you see these videos on TikTok, of people watching like a big ass snake coming across the roof onto the trees, and I'm just like, oh no,
Terrifying.
oh no,
Terrifying.
no. And I don't fancy sitting my arse down in the toilet in Australia, especially when I know what
They
can come up.
rimmed and bite you there.
Yep. No,
You've
thank
got
you.
the funnel web
Nope.
spiders as well in Australia, aren't you? Funnel webs, which are on golf courses.
Mhm.
Right, gentlemen, I'm gonna bow out.
I think we all
'cause
are, aren't we now?
No, yous have still got a wee bit to go.
Oh, we've got 4
I'm
minutes.
Yeah,
hey
we
Terry
can-
Two Willies.
Terry.
But I will catch up with y'all.
2 weeks.
I come
know.
2 Willies
I
all the
know
time.
you did. Oh, yeah, Terry,
Eh.
hello, buddy.
Somebody put a bubble under.
Oh, you
Holy
put bubbles. Oh, bye guys, and I'll catch up with you soon. All right.
See you later.
Bye all. Love you.
Speak to
Oh,
soon.
bye. Bye
Love
bye.
you. Bye. Bye. And then there was 2, William.
Yeah.
In the winter, so bloody hell.
Yep, toilet.
No
Like I said,
way.
scorpions show up in your. Where we were, they have open sewers, which means there's no sewer pipe. It just goes out to the backyard.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where all the black widows are. If you eat anything that grows back there, like if you have watermelon, you eat the seeds and poop them out. We had big watermelons, like about.
Oh, well, they kind of regrow. The seeds
Yeah.
germinate.
No.
Catherine says, oh, no, hell no, mate.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, it's really interesting. It really, really is.
Yeah, it sounds it. It does sound it. But it's, I mean, I bet it's stunning, though. I bet it's a beautiful place. But them places generally are, aren't they? When they've got abundance of creatures that want to kill you.
Well, it is.
Beautiful.
And where we were at is where the story of the lizard man came from and everything else. So
Was that around the swamp area? Was it the lizard man, or was that? Yeah, that's interesting. We'll have to get somebody else to talk about that one day, lizard man.
yeah, I know. I don't
Definitely.
know anything about
Maybe
it.
Nick. Nick could know about it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Of the Neanderthals, that's what's underground.
Well, theirs might be, but ours where we were living weren't underground. They just went into the backyard.
Yeah, it's not something I'd relish, I must admit. But it's interesting. But yeah, we must get Nick on. I'm sure he'd know stuff about different cryptids and those places, because Nick knows quite a bit about cryptids, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he does. It's really good. So does Grizzly. I like him and his shows too.
Yeah, Grizzly does good shows. Yeah, Grizzly does very good shows. I like Grizzly stuff. Particularly when you get him on to cryptids. He's excellent with cryptids.
Oh yeah, he knows
He
a lot
knows
more
his
than
stuff
I
with
do.
cryptids. He's really good.
So are you thinking still about doing your show?
Yeah, now that we're in the new year, definitely. I want Viv to get. I didn't realise Viv wasn't on tonight.
Catherine knows a lot about cryptids, apparently.
We love the lot, Catherine. We love them all.
Yeah, and that's a different conversation we'll have some other day.
Definitely.
What
was I saying? Sorry, Eric. I was saying, yeah, it's Viv when she's back fighting fit and stuff. I'll have a chat with her. I didn't realise she was not on again because of that, but I'll have to catch up with her over the next few days and make sure she's okay.
Yeah, she said she wasn't feeling well and that she wasn't going to be able to be on. So for me to do it.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. She's had that bug that I had, which can last weeks.
Oh, really? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it's me. Sorry, Eric. Okay. Campgrounds and swimming pools and assisting like it's really cool off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unreal, isn't it?
I know.
Unreal.
But I guess we'll wrap it up here, huh?
Yes, guys, we're going to wrap it up this evening because we're going to do a short one. Viv's not here. She's still suffering with the old lurgy, I believe.
Yeah.
And we'll wait for her to get back and to be fine fit. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow night yet because obviously waiting on to see what happens with Viv. So apart from that, we will chat with you very, very soon, and we'll say good night. Should we say good night, Eric?
Yep. Have a good night.
Night, everybody. Do you want to end the stream, Eric?